Hi, beautiful people. This is Ali Ayala with Star Song Reiki and Astrology with Ali. And I have not done a video in a really long time, but I decided to hop on here today and do a video as a way of honoring Mercury retrograde, which may sound strange because the majority of the time when we hear about Mercury retrograde, there's a lot of information about there being communication breakdowns, mishaps, miscommunications, technology breakdowns, travel challenges. And yes, that's all valid. And those are all potentials. And I just wanted to add in and like round it out a little bit with some positive ways to work with Mercury retrograde. So, one thing that you can do is go back through your communications, so your email or mail or content that you've written, and organize it. Go through it, revise it, review it, um, take out the things that you can't use anymore, and find the things that you could potentially use going forward. That's one way to work with Mercury retrograde. Another thing that can happen is that people that you haven't heard from in a while might pop up again. And that can be really lovely. All of a sudden, someone's coming back, or it can be like maybe not so great, but it usually both you and the other person have changed during the time that you haven't spoken or seen each other. And then you're given a chance to reconnect during a Mercury retrograde and see your growth. That's a potential. Sometimes there can be opportunities that present themselves. Um, or, say there is some sort of breakdown, technology breakdown. You want to go back to a company or a source to help you that you've worked with in the past and had success with. So if someone comes to you that you've worked with in the past and they present an idea of a new project, and you've had success with this person before during a Mercury retrograde, it's okay to move forward with that person. Because it's kind of like you're returning and you're moving forward at the same time. It has this kind of retrograde feeling to it. However, if it's like a brand new person, brand new company, brand new opportunity, you might want to pause. Mercury in Aries tends to be somewhat impulsive at times, or it can be a little impatient and want to begin or start. And I think this Mercury retrograde could actually be helpful in slowing down some of the quickness that this particular eclipse season is bringing forward. So those are a few things I just wanted to point out. Like for me, I'm, returning to this pathway of communication that I haven't done in a long time and starting again. That's a way to work with Mercury retrograde in a positive way. And there's a really beautiful quote that says, "You're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience." And so I really like that as a way to frame new starts, even when you're returning to something that you've done before. The last piece I really want to speak to has to do with this eclipse season. And at least here in Baltimore, in my hometown, we had this really significant event of a bridge collapsing. And it was really interesting because it happened a few days after the full moon lunar eclipse in Libra. And it was a south node eclipse, which usually indicates an ending or something flowing away from a situation. And I really saw the bridge itself as a very Libran image. You have one landmass, you have another landmass, there's a body of water in between, and that bridge is that connecting piece. So it's even like the scales of the Libra sign. You can see it in the image of the bridge. And it just completely collapsed when it was hit by a large ship. And there are people in this area that use that bridge every day for commuting to and from work or school or wherever they're going. And then also that's a major shipping lane for the Port of Baltimore. And there's a lot of debris in the water that they have to clean up. So the shipping lanes have been affected by this bridge collapsing. So it kind of speaks to this Mercury retrograde of like there being travel mishaps and challenges getting around town for sure right now in the Baltimore area. Everybody has to find a new path. They have to find a new way to get where they used to go, which I think speaks to this Mercury retrograde in Aries. And I think it also speaks to the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that's coming up April 20th. I think this whole storyline of this bridge collapse and how it's going to affect our local community, it's going to develop over this next, at least this next month really intensely, and then 6 months, I would say at least 6 months. It's going to take them a while to rebuild. But it could be an opportunity to come up with new innovative ways to do that. It could lead to opportunities for people. The Jupiter Uranus is like a potential for big disruptions. There could be big disruptions in our supply lines, which is very Jupiter Uranus and Taurus. Taurus deals a lot with resources and material goods. So there could be big disruptions, but it could also lead to big opportunities for people. Maybe there's jobs created, or there's just new things emerging from this collapse. So I just wanted to speak to that because it's just such a practical example of how the astrology moves through our lives. Sometimes it's more in the collective, which you're going to find with a planet like Uranus and Jupiter. They're a little further away, and they're more like something that happened to the collective at large. And then you have your more personal planets that are affected. The sun, the moon, Mercury. Like, how am I going to get to the place I need to go now that the bridge is not there? So I don't know if that's a good metaphor for something in your life, but I just wanted to offer that there's many different ways to look at this particular Mercury retrograde and eclipse season. And if you would like to sit down and talk with me about it, I love to support people in their journey through astrology. Again, my name is Ali Ayala, and I have a website, astrologywithali.com. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm here for you. Take care. Bye-bye.